Time for Law and Disorder.
I demand a lawyer.
With attorney Jeff Kaufman on 101.1 WJRR.
We welcome Kaufman, partner at Kaufman Lynd. Fine local firm here, personal injury attorney. That's his specialty. If you are someone you know has been injured, car accident, slip and fall, got questions, concerns, good guy to reach out to, Taco.
Jeff at whenyouneedus.com is his direct email. Again, Jeff at whenyouneedus.com or pound 546 on your cell.
Welcome, Jeff. Glad you're with us.
You know, I got to tell you, always ridiculously privileged to be sharing a room with you two gentlemen.
Oh, hush now.
I'm just saying, you know, you make me better than you complete me. That's all I'm going to say.
Wow.
This is getting weird.
There you go.
Wow.
You're going to be sharing a room with, like, I believe 500 people, right?
Yeah. We're taking 500 people to Beetlejuice at the end of the month.
Yep, October 26th. And if you want to be one of those 500 people, all you have to do is email contests at whenyouneedus.com. Again, contest at whenyouneedus.com. Tell them what info do you need?
Just name, phone number, and the amount of people between 2 and 4. And don't ask for more.
All right, up to 4. The amount that you're bringing, your name and your phone number. Again, it's contest at whenyouneedus.com. Pretty cool. Get ready for that Halloween season.
Yeah, you know, I do a lot of movies, and we always choose these great premieres. And then I said, you know, what would be a great Christmas movie? And outside of, like, Nightmare on Elm Street, I said, what could you take regular kids, like, people want to
Christmas
take
or Halloween?
New Exorcist one would be perfect.
Yeah,
New Exorcist.
The problem is, I also want most of the movies they can bring kids, but some have been a little rough. And I said, well, what would be a great movie you could bring like kids to? And I said, well, I wonder if I can get the old Beetlejuice movie. And we found out we can. So we're going to be playing the Michael Keaton Beetlejuice, and I think it's going to be a great time for everybody.
For family, I get it. Right on. Again, contest at whenyouneedus.com. Man, we got a lot of questions, Jeff. Right out of the gate, somebody said, if I walked into a gas station and one of the machines is leaking with no signs around and I slip and fall, do I have a case?
Yeah, everybody's responsible for your area. You're what they call an invitee. It's like anywhere I go, if they do something, if they don't manage something right, if they don't take care of something that allows me to get hurt on their property, of course they're responsible. That's the way it's supposed to be because, I mean, they're the reason you got hurt. But for their conduct, you'd been fine.
Okay. So, yeah, if that happened to you, Jeff at whenyouneedus.com, get in touch with them.
Did it happen, though, or they were saying
they were asking a scenario the way that it
now,
looked.
If you see that and you make yourself fall, that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, and realize they have cameras, so don't do stupid things.
It's called insurance fraud.
And whether I like it or not, there are people who do take advantage of the world, like in anything else. You know, there are bad people in every industry, and people do come to you every once in a while, and they lie to you, and then you get the videos, and you go, oh, this didn't happen. And a good attorney goes, listen, I'm cutting you loose.
You can usually see through when they're lying to you because the different body language and everything else, correct?
Listen, I'm not a human lie detector. I do know when there are certain things people give off sometimes. But normally as you work a case, you go, wait a minute, something doesn't seem right here. And a lot of people kind of get greedy in these situations and they're not willing to say, hey, listen, I should let this go. I let it go every time. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to allow myself to be compromised because then the person I'm dealing with on the other side, the attorney, the adjuster, or something else goes, Jeff would put something in front of me, you know, that's not great. And I can't live with that because these people have to trust me for me to be able to do well for my other clients.
Yeah, you don't want to look like a weasel, otherwise you lose respect.
There's some crappy people out there, and I'm not one of them.
Good. Don't become. If my landlord took deductions and didn't give me a receipt from it within 30 days, I should be able to get my deposit back. Should I get a lawyer involved in this?
Well, they have a duty to, after a period of time, if they don't send you the information, if they don't give you exactly what they took out and why, yes, you are entitled to your whole deposit. The problem is this, is that let's say the deposit was like $600 and your attorney costs you, you know, $2,000 to get it back. Sometimes it's better to go to small claims court and for about $200. And, you know, a lot of times you can get that money back at the end.
All right.
If you win.
I lent a friend some money to pay her rent.
Don't do that.
I knew it was coming.
Don't do that.
I lent a friend.
Nothing will break a friendship up quicker than cash.
Just lend it to family members
Just
instead.
give it to them.
Yeah,
don't lend the money. Give it to them, and then you don't have to feel bad about it.
Okay.
Because then you become the guy breaking fingers over the stuff like this.
You ready? We don't have a mob scene here.
It's always a mob scene.
I lent a friend some money to pay her rent earlier this
It's
year.
always a her too.
And
it's always a her.
She promised me both verbally and in writing that she would start paying me back monthly.
And let me guess, it didn't work out for you.
I haven't seen a dime. How can I collect?
You know what? Depending on how much it is, the fact is this: never lend people money unless you can afford to lose it. And that's just the way. When anybody comes to you and they put you in that position, and I know people are out there go, I've done this a bunch of times. I have seen so many situations. We read it all the time. I lent it, and it's always some girl. Okay, I'm not putting you ladies down who are out there, but men aren't quick to lend money to men as quick as they are to lend to women. And I'm sure there might have been some kind of, maybe. So you say there's a chance. Yes, you could take her to small claims court, but my advice is, just walk away from it. It's good for your karma, and you'll feel better at the end, because just fighting over this money, the time you're going to put to fight in it, it probably is not worth it. And people out there, don't lend money to people. Just give it to them. Consider them donations. And if your friend decides to give you money back, do it. But you've had those friends who never bring their wallet with them.
Oh, yeah. And I've had the friends that I've lent money and I learned. Then all of a sudden, you ruin a friendship.
Yeah, I feel bad. I'm collecting. Why are you doing this? Wait a minute. I did something nice for you. And there's that old line, no good deed goes unpunished. That applies to lending money specifically. Mm-hmm. Just give it to them.
All right. Is it legal for a parent to claim a child on taxes when the child has lived with the other parent out of state for over 5 years? Custody is 50-50.
Okay, well, then normally in these issues, I'm not a family lawyer, but I do know a lot about this. Normally in the divorce settlement, it describes exactly who's allowed to declare the dependent. Just because they don't live with you doesn't mean they're not your dependent. If that's the deal that you guys cut in your divorce, you get it 1 year, he gets the other year, you split it 50-50. That's in the agreement. It has nothing to do with it, kids living with you or not.
Yeah, because they're still paying child support, probably.
Well, it doesn't even matter if they're paying it. You could be a dependent, and I'm not paying off it. There's no set amount. Well, how much should I pay on my kid this year? Mm-hmm. It doesn't work like that. It's actually who gets the right to do it and who doesn't. And that's always determined in the divorce settlement if you did it right or you had a good lawyer.
And if you didn't, redo it.
If you didn't, then one of you is declaring it. If both of you do it, I want you to know the IRS is going to come visit you.
Speaking of the IRS visiting, we have one here.
No, I don't talk. IRS, they're fantastic gentlemen. I think they should be respected, and I think they don't get enough respect in the world.
And their building across the street is just beautiful.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Kaufman's face on the Facebook Live right now.
Nope, those guys are fantastic.
All right, so
they definitely should be paid more.
You want me to steer away from this one?
You could say it, but I don't know if I'm going to answer it.
Okay.
I don't screw with the government.
Okay. Jeff, if you're currently in a lawsuit and being represented by another attorney, can you ask a different attorney to take a look at your case?
Sure you can. That happens all the time. I mean, I get asked all the time on cases where they feel that the attorney didn't do a good job or is not doing a good job. And I would say in the majority of situations, I notice they have done the job. But there are some times where they haven't done anything in 2 or 3 years. And you definitely should move on when that happens.
All right. So, yeah, you can have somebody look at it. Again, to get in touch with Jeff directly if you have a personal injury claim that you need help with, Jeff@whenyouneedus.com or pound 546 on your cell. Again, that's Jeff@whenyouneedus.com. And if you're texting about to where to get the tickets, that is contest@whenyouneedus.com for that Beetlejuice event.
And give your friends the money. Don't lend it to them.
Jeff Kaufman from Kaufman Lynd. We always appreciate your services on Mondays.
Oh, anytime, guys.
All right, we'll see you next week.